Alright, dude, it's me, Z. Welcome to the second episode of Box Talkin with Z. In this episode, we will be talking about your comments from the video I made about the Nintendo Switch Pro. If you didn't already watch it, dude, I'll have it linked in the description and have it pop up right here. But in short, I believe that Nintendo will release a screenless, TV-only Switch for around $100, and it will offer very to little no graphical improvement. Oh, and it will be bundled with a Pro Controller. Once again, dude, I really appreciate you commenting and leaving your opinions on the videos, especially when they don't agree with my own. And as per usual, we're going to start with the top-rated comment, this time from Vasily Godziashvili. And they said, "I don't know why, but I think you're going to be a big YouTuber one day." And I just wanted to say thank you for the comment, the kind words, and the support. But I really just want to keep talking about the stuff we all love, whether it's with one person or 1 million people listening. But I'm not complaining if we get to 1 million, so you know. We'll see. But now let's get right back into it and start with the top rated comment that was related to the topic from Tyler Warden, which said, "I want this so bad. I really hope they go with this direction. Also, I haven't experienced Joy-Con drift on a Switch Pro controller, so win-win all day." So thanks for the comment, and I agree. I would really personally like to see this type of Switch come out. I think the price point is just right for a Switch that doesn't actually switch and is made for TV only, but not everyone agreed with this point, which brings me to the section of the comments that disagreed with my point almost completely. Starting with Days Leaf, they said, "Even though I agree so much about what you say, I really doubt there's going to be a Switch Pro. I think they're going to do another slight improvement, like they did in 2018, and maybe overclock the GPU and CPU, or even go with the Tegra X2. They're trying to sell as many Switches as possible until maybe 2023, before doing a Switch 2 or another console. Hopefully they focus on power. But who knows, Nintendo is so unpredictable." Kan Hua says, "I don't know if they're gonna price it at $99 to $149.99. Maybe they're gonna sell it at the same price as the Switch Lite at $199. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe Switch Home Console Pro be at $249.99. if they're going to improve the graphics with the AMD lineup." Wu and Frill Delsid said, "In my opinion, I think that the next version of the Nintendo Switch Pro will actually be 2 different versions of the console, one more capable hybrid version and home console version." Stick Story said, "This is literally the Wii Mini. Haven't heard of it? Because it flopped even though it was $100. Jesse Agent said, "I honestly think that all the Switch truly needs at the end of the day is a little buff in terms of performance, because that will open up a lot of third-party games and collaborations that will only shoot the sales up." Just think about it. A console that can play your favorite games like Mario and Animal Crossing, can play third-party best-selling games from PlayStation and Xbox, all at 60 FPS. The Switch would then become the true hybrid console. Chester Cat says, "If they do what you're suggesting, they need to upgrade the Switch Lite. Right now, the Switch version 2.0 has a better/upgraded battery life and some upgraded power. Why buy a Switch Lite when you can get a Switch that is better than its predecessors? I find your idea rather ridiculous. I hope Nintendo doesn't go with your idea because it would bomb." So thanks for all your comments. And generally speaking, most of the contentions with my theory came from the idea that Nintendo needs to release something with more power to compete with PlayStation and Xbox. And I actually made a video about that recently you can check out right here. Shameless plug. But basically my thoughts are as followed. 1. Nintendo does not care about power. 2. Nintendo is already doing its own thing entirely. And 3. I think it's unrealistic that Nintendo goes and segregates its 50 million plus user base by making a powerhouse console that can run big games, while the Lite and the original can't. This brings me to the section of the comments that for the most part agreed with me. P. whatever says, "I slightly agree with what you're saying. It's like the present Switch is a test run for their new handheld, but they're gonna make their next TV console only so they can have both concepts and make them compatible. That might be crazy enough to work, but they would have to make a lot of improvements and changes." 88R Sam says, "I think the same thing. I think the Switch Lite and the regular Switch will also be usable controllers that connect to the Switch Pro. And according to the latest Switch update received recently, something along the lines of the dual screen was encoded in it." And that's a pretty cool idea. Rui PTG says, "I predicted a TV variation of the Switch before it was even launched, lol." Whitney's Way says, "I can totally see your prediction being right." Andres says, "It does make a lot of sense. Probably $150. So again, thanks for the comments. And now it seems to me that while a lot of people want Nintendo to make this huge, powerful, full-fat home console with ray tracing and a hot cocoa dispenser, some people are not only okay with, but excited for the version of the Pro that I'm predicting. And I think that that's really because of the convenience of having a Switch and its massive library in a little package with a little price. This brings me to a rapid fire section of the comments. Cole Harris says, "Kind of makes sense, but let's be honest, Nintendo doesn't care about graphics right now, or the fact their console is less powerful than any of the new modern consoles. I think if they do make a Switch Pro, it needs to meet some requirements. They need to beef up the GPU and CPU, whether it's by putting an integrated CPU like Intel does or whatever. It needs to be able to do 4K and capable of steady 50 to 60 FPS gameplay to be able to really give Sony and Xbox a run for their money when the Series X and PS5 launch. I bet they will most likely if they do make said console, put about $450 price tag on it, and will use the new Breath of the Wild 2 and Prime 4 to really showcase what it would be capable of, like back in the day when it was the Genesis versus the SNES. If they don't, I wouldn't blame them because they probably don't want to tank the Switch accidentally like they did with the Wii U. Ryan206 says, I just want 1080p, 60 frames per second. And don't we all, Ryan? Family YouTube says, Stadia anyone? And finally, Supergiant Mario 64 says, all I know is I'm totally ready for Breath of the Wild 2. Seeing a picture of it in your video got me pumped up. Hopefully we get it soon. And what a perfect last comment, because at the end of the day, we all want Breath of the Wild 2 in our hands right now. Give it to me right now, please. I'm dying. So that's it, dude. This concludes this edition of Box Talkin with Z. Now, I'd really love to hear your thoughts about the comments shared. Do you like them? Leave a like. Do you hate them? Tell me why in the comments. I know you didn't like them. It was lame. And if you enjoyed this style of video, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any more of them. All right, dude. Talk to you later.